Oh, hello.
Hey, friends.
Hey, Ethan, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Since you've known me for the multiple years that we have been acquaintances, all the way back. How many
What was the
Oscar
question?
ballots have you actually won? Oh, God, is that still sore? Oh!
Hey, David.
Yeah.
Can you not?
No, I actually have to. Because every single year I turn down you're like, let's do $100 on the ballot. I'm like, no.
I bet you my Ford F-150 if you can guess all the best actresses.
But yeah, no, I mean, no one has beaten me in an Oscar ballot in more than the years we've known each other.
Well, because you
That's what I'm
cheat.
saying. I don't cheat. Shut the fuck up. I hate you. So this episode is the special episode that we're doing to follow up our Oscar ballot for 2018, but technically they call it 2019.
Hey, David, before we ramp that up, we got to introduce ourselves, buddy.
Oh, shit. Well, we know you. You're Ethan, never won a ballot. And I'm David.
That's it. This is Featurecast. It's written as FTR_cast, but you call it Featurecast, not
Have we ever
FTR
explained
podcast.
where that came
That's
from?
a fun one, huh?
Do you know where the
believe
FTR
so.
comes from?
Yeah, it's how we
well, then I
get
won't do it again.
features if they're gonna go on a Do Re Mi.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I came up with that myself. Pretty happy about that one.
It's a movie podcast. It's real messy, real bad. 10 out of 10.
Sometimes we also talk about printers. Sometimes we talk about smoothies.
Fucking Printercast. We're not bringing that back.
Oh, we're also bringing back Smoothie Cast.
It's smoothie
that was
sessions.
actually a thing though that you did.
And
oh, fuck.
I'll have you know, I'm so mad.
That's
do you
still
have,
going on.
Before we go to the intro, do you have any printer updates?
Printer's fucking doing good, dude. It's officially it's evolved into the next evolution of a printer's life where I'm stacking shit on top of it because I don't use it enough. So it's an elevated table that it's actually on. So now it's higher. It's pretty cool. It's collecting dust, which makes that really shininess.
Would you say that it's reached its shelf life? Because now it's like a shelf.
Yeah.
Roll that intro, baby. Woo!
Recorded from deep within the great lakes of the internet live. Two men buried under bad movies and popcorn try their best to survive. But how long could that possibly last? Find out as you join Ethan and David in this episode of Featurecast.
We got a couple of
We gotta
things.
kick it off. Oh, are you gonna introduce the next segment? We're gonna kick it off with some first impressions. What are some of your first impressions, Ethan?
Oh, David. Well, I've been
watch anything good?
Well, yes.
It's funny because your list of first impressions is all solid movies, and mine is just the shit pile of shit. I don't know what I've been doing with my life, but it's depressing.
Hell yeah, let's just go one for one. I'll start with one of my most anticipated movies, which was Terry Gilliam's latest film, The Man Who Killed Don Quixote.
Ooh, I had tickets to this, and then we got a snowstorm in Minnesota, and I was like, I'm not going to go outside in my little Honda Civic and probably die for The Man Who Killed Don Quixote.
It's
but
back
I have
in
the
theaters,
ticket.
so you can still see.
Is it actually?
Yeah, we have it this week is actual shows. I'll cut that
Dude!
out of the podcast, but you can see it.
God. Oh, okay, that's actually awesome. I'm going to see it then.
Okay, cool.
Thank you for telling me that. Thank you.
It's very
Ethan, genuinely, thank you for that bit of knowledge.
You're welcome.
Okay, that scared the fucking life out of me. Did you also see the Curse of I don't know how to say it.
Oh, come on, give it to me.
The Curse
Say
of
that
La
word.
Llorona. I don't know how to do it, dude.
Lauronia, La Llorona.
I would like the people to know that I took 4 years of Spanish in high school. It took me 3
Apparently
years.
4 years of Spanish 1.
Okay, well, here
'Cause
we
you don't
go.
know how to
It
say
took me
La
3
Llorona.
years to get past Spanish 1. And then I go in senior year for Spanish 2. They're like, I hope you remember everything from Spanish 1. I was like, I remember nothing. Dropped it the next week. So, but how did you like this movie?
It was fine.
Oh, wow. Okay, so my life was not worth going to this movie.
No, it's one that Terry Gilliam has been trying to make for quite a while. I think it's like 25 plus years at this point, riddled with conflict and flooding and actors getting sick and like legal battles and like all the fun stuff that, you know, Terry Gilliam has to do anytime he tries to make anything, which is great. I think he is literally cursed. So I'm happy that it's just out and he's done with it.
Wow.
Like can move on with his life now.
Yeah.
Jonathan Pryce is at the top of his game. Adam Driver is at the top of his game.
Are we
I'd
talking
say
about
Terry Gilliam is not as much at the top of his game, which is weird. So it's closer to something like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas than it would be something like Brazil.
Okay.
The way that Gilliam moves the camera, I think in this movie specifically, it kind of takes away from like the gorgeous set design and like costume work that people like actually put a lot of time and effort into. Mainly because of how things interact with. So if you take a look at Brazil, my favorite movie of all time, Gang Gang, the way that the set design works in that is a lot of the things are in the background and supposed to be like ignored. So like it's okay when the camera doesn't focus on them, but in this world, it doesn't really have as good of effect. That's kind of hard to. I don't think I worded that the best way I could have, but anyway.
I already know what you're saying, to be honest.
It's I don't know. It's a really fun movie.
It's a good film that you don't think compares to his other works.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's good. It's not great. It's definitely not great, but it's enjoyable. Hands down, Adam Driver, Jonathan Pryce. If they did not deliver the performance they did, movie would be nothing. They are both fantastic in this. Big ups to Jonathan Pryce.
So the movie that I saw that is just a big old pile of dog shit is another Netflix original. It's called The Silence, starring Stanley Tucci and a other list of people who don't matter. Like literally, they don't. Sorry, I only watched this because Stanley Tucci. This movie is like a worse version of Bird Box mixed with A Quiet Place, just with like the whole listening thing being important and the noise being the aspect instead of seeing, and then also mixed with like like the shittiest versions of any of the monsters in the entire Mist movie, because they're basically just bats. They're basically like bats with big teeth that eat you. This movie is so you can just tell people don't give a fuck about this movie. So basically, Silence is just like cliche super bad. It's like got everything you want from one of these shitty movies. It's got like the religious cult at the end that's like cutting out their tongues because fuck it, why not? And then we just kidnap people. It's so shit, dude. We got some of the worst death scenes ever. Like an uncle, like there's this scene where this uncle makes fun of Stanley Tucci's like minivan, and he's like, "Are you sure you can make it through the woods in that thing?" And then he like fucking drives off a cliff and like commits suicide. He like sacrifices himself. It's so shit, dude. It's just so bad. Like there is no care put into this movie. What else do you watch?
I watched Guava Island.
Yeah, this
is the latest Childish Gambino film.
It's something, dude. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this still. Like I liked what I saw, but like I was like I don't.
I really liked it. I'm just going to read off my review that I've written here, if that's all right with you.
Sure, man.
Beautifully shot with a fantastic lead performance by Donald Glover, who also performed some of his songs throughout the project.
Fantastic performance.
Fantastic lead performance.
Oh, fantastic lead. It sounded like you said fantastically performance. I was like, that doesn't make sense. Continue.
No, that's all right, David.
I misheard you.
Bitch boy.
Pronunciate your words better. Our viewers have
Pronunciate.
Pronounce. Fuck you.
The visuals and soundscaping are hands down the strongest elements of the film. Glover is mesmerizing and engaging, even when his accent kind of drifts in and out. Rihanna leaves a lot to desire in her role, but honestly, she didn't really have a lot to work with in the beginning, so whatever. The industrial take on This Is America is worth the 55-minute runtime alone, which is not a very long runtime. It's much closer in structure to a musical than a visual album, if that makes sense, with kind of a cohesive storyline guiding between the handful of brief songs. Like, where in most visual album, it's like, it's just songs for them. Like they play the songs out in their entirety, and then they have maybe like a minute or two of just dialogue in between each one. It's like nothing, and it's not very cohesive. Whereas this one is kind of the opposite of that. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean,
I really liked it.
Did you really like it, or did you just like it? Because, like...
I gave it 4 stars.
That's just insane to me. Like...
I didn't have... Other than Rihanna was kind of boring in it, I had no problems with any of the
I really enjoyed the parts of it, but, like, I just have so many issues with what's going on here. I don't know.
I mean, it's fine if it didn't click with you, David.
So, I saw Pet Sematary, which... This is
way worse.
Oh, dude, so much worse. I gave it a worse review. Actually, I think I gave it the same review. Holy shit. I gotta lower my review. Sorry. Sorry, my computer. Dude, I don't like that I can't do, like, quarter stars. I wish I had quarter star reviews. Because, like, half stars, I just don't have enough ammo. Pet Sematary. This movie I was actually, like, excited for. I was like, holy shit, the trailer is gonna have some serious scares. And then trailer 2 drops for it. Spoils the entire fucking movie. This movie sucks. It's one of the worst scripts I've seen this year so far. Might be the worst, honestly. I fucking hate the script. It is so shitty. It's really pedophilic, too. Like, there's some creepy shit going on with John Lithgow and the little girl. I'm like, I don't feel comfortable. This movie is bad. It's just jump scares, shitty script, and just, like, nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. I mean, sure it makes sense, but it's just shit. I was excited for this. I was like... This is gonna be like
you were
another good Stephen King movie. Not, dude, it's not. Like the parts that I thought looked good in the trailer look so shit in this movie. In like when I'm actually watching the movie, didn't look good. Just nothing good. I gotta lower my rating on this. Yeah, wow. Do not recommend at all. Like, holy shit. What else
good
you got?
Times. My favorite movie of the year so far, actually.
I'm excited for
which
this.
I'm a little surprised by. And this is one that it hit all the right boxes for me. It would not hit all the right boxes for everyone.
Can I please just
a heads up?
Please don't say too much, like, because I'm very excited for this one. Just don't say too much. That's all.
Are you only excited because of how I've ranked it?
No. I was excited. That's on my like list of movies that probably wouldn't get a release at AMC's. Because I'm an A-lister. So I'm going to watch it on digital when it comes out. But
fucking brag about it.
I'm an A-lister. That's all I'm saying.
I love that you got a little bit closer to the mic and you're like, well, because like I'm an A-lister.
I'm an A-lister. Like, I don't know what to say.
Does that make you horny, baby? That was Austin Powers for any of you film nerds out there. My number 1 movie of the year. I want to get a little bit of distance between all my goofs and gags and when I actually start talking about this wonderful film. Is what? What are you sniffing?
I'm trying to see
if I smell a good movie.
Smell what movie
it's
you're
not
talking
Border.
about?
You can stop sniffing.
Sorry. Continue.
Border would have made more sense
Oh.
with the sniffles.
I haven't seen either of those. Sorry.
Oh, all right.
Continue.
Woman at War.
Proceed. Oh.
Proceedo.
Oh. Yeah.
It's an Icelandic film.
You're
Icelandic and a little bit of Ukraine, but mostly Icelandic.
Sounds like a spoiler.
What?
I'm just joking. Sorry.
You haven't seen it.
I know. So is it a spoiler? You son of a bitch! I told you to say nothing about this movie.
Okay. I'm gonna read the description real quick, just to give everyone a brief synopsis of it, and then I'll talk a little bit more about it. So, middle-aged woman declares war on the heavy industry in her town. She resorts to sabotage and is willing to risk everything for nature and these virgin highlands around her until a Ukrainian orphan enters her life. There's a little, like, the orphan part is not as big of a story as that description kind of makes it sound like. It definitely plays a huge role in it, but it's basically reaching the time that she should declare her manifesto, and then the complications of, like, well, I mean, if I'm going to have a kid, maybe I shouldn't be a terrorist.
Oh.
Granted, it's an ecological terrorist, which is, like, a whole different thing.
You don't say.
This is somewhere between Birdman
What?
and 3 Billboards Outside of
I don't
Missouri.
get how the fuck it's any, like... I did only watch the trailer, and, like, half the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, Where the fuck is Birdman in this?
You'll definitely notice it.
Okay.
So one of the things that Birdman did was its soundtrack was incorporated in its environment. This one is like that, a little more on the nose.
Oh, weird.
It's a film that knows it's a film, okay? And you
wait.
it knows
it's
that you're
on the
watching
nose, but it knows.
What?
God, I don't know what the fuck's going on, dude. I'm getting too much vitamin D today.
D for dick, my wiener.
No, it's just really sunny outside today. Sorry.
Anyway, so it's a movie that knows it's a movie, all right? And it knows that the person watching it knows it's a movie. So it doesn't play away. It sometimes it's like gives kind of playful winks. It's not as I don't know, it's not as obnoxiously fourth wall breaking as something like Deadpool would be. But it's I don't know, it's really good. You know, like with Birdman, one of the things about it was like one of the things that made it interesting was that you knew it was Michael Keaton, who had also played Batman. Like that was an interesting part of it, was that it was actually Michael Keaton there.
Yeah,
like definitely. That adds another layer to it.
100%. Makes sense.
Woman at War is a fantastic movie. The soundtrack is like just it burrows deep into your bones. It's so fucking good. The cinematography is great.
Do you want to talk
while
about
not
a real
being
soundtrack?
overly
Hellboy.
Shut up, David.
Dude.
While not being overly in your face for the cinematography, the acting is phenomenal. Especially the lead actress. The way that like the actual sabotages work is also fantastic. Pretty much everything is great. There is like a lot of side characters that just keep showing up, and there's like an amazing ironic humor with that. That also has some sort of more like political narrative behind it that's also really engaging and fun. It's really, really smart, really, really funny, but it's not something that like it tackles really, really important issues, but it does it in a fun, engaging, clever way so that it's not just like, well, you're bad because you got asked for a straw in a restaurant, you fucking piece of git, bitch. You know, like it doesn't get too heavy on that, but it doesn't like.
Are you asking for straws?
Oh no, I'm saying.
Why are you asking for straws, Ethan?
Mr. Goody, can I have a throw?
No, we don't use straws anymore. Wasting fucking plastic, you motherfucker. You're trying to kill turtles, aren't you? I saw Neil Marshall's Hellboy. This is a movie I have not been excited for at any point in history.
I was hopeful for it.
Nope, never. The first still of David Harbour, I was like, ooh, look at David Harbour's Hellboy. This movie is a fucking disaster. This movie it's just like, I don't know what went wrong, because everything went wrong. There's nothing good in this movie. Dude, some of the CGI, especially with Ian McShane, specifically with Ian McShane, it's just like, holy shit, what is going on right now? Wow, it's just like, and it kills me. You know what kills me the most is like, I actually kind of enjoy David Harbour's Hellboy. Mm-hmm. Like, I actually kind of like him. I'm like, you know what? If you weren't in a pile of shit movie, I could enjoy this. But it's just so bad.
I called it R.I.P.U. Do you get it?
I get it. That's pretty good.
Straining things.
Yeah, no, it was really bad. What's on your backlog? You watch any good movies?
I did. I watched this movie right after we recorded our March of the Penguins Madness episode.
Ooh, March of the Penguins.
March
of the Penguins.
I watched The Hunt for the Wilderpeople. Taika Waititi film.
Wait, you didn't watch March of the Penguins?
No.
So March. That's it.
I watched The Hunt for the Wilderpeople.
Yeah, how was
Taika Waititi film. It was really enjoyable. It was definitely very Taika Waititi, and very, very childish and cartoonish in a very fun, sometimes raunchy way. All the characters are this kind of like very, very playful. Even if they're like an angry person, there's still this playfulness to them. And that playfulness spreads out through the whole movie. It's very Taika Waititi. It's really good. Sam Neill is really good. Yeah, so it's got the kid from Deadpool 2 in it, who plays Ricky Baker.
Ricky Baker.
Ricky Baker, you are now 13 years old. You're a teenager and you're as good as gold.
It's great. Ricky Baker. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's got some similar things to Swiss Army Man in terms of like in the wilderness, quirky, fun soundtrack. That's about it.
Interesting.
I really enjoyed it. It's fun. If you like other Taika Waititi movies, it's definitely worth a shot.
Oh. Yeah. This is the one where it just looks a little too weird.
It's good. What have you seen on the backlog, big boy?
So I crossed off Mississippi Burning. Like, seeing like young Frances McDormand is also pretty cool too. It also stars Gene Hackman and young Willem Dafoe, which like young Willem Dafoe kind of scares me even more than old.
I don't
Willem
think
Dafoe.
that exists. Yeah, I think he
was
came
just
out.
like, this is.
He came out the pussy with wrinkles.
That's. It's a movie about some FBI agents going to the South, specifically Mississippi, to investigate some deaths that might have some hate crime ties to it. Tied to it. It's a solid little flick about race relations in Mississippi.
Yeah,
it's got some moments that like I just feel like there's some moments in film I just don't like watching. Where it's just like I don't know how else to explain. It's just not fun to watch. And like the opening of this movie is just like fucked up. It cuts to black and it just has like audio, voice, and it's like, ooh. Have you seen this movie?
Nope.
Okay, well, I throw it on your list. I think you'd enjoy it.
Well, that's it for our first impressions in the backlog, y'all.
So I think we're gonna be skipping into our. How are we gonna intro this?
So we recorded the bulk of this episode with our friend Steve. It's a special episode. We explain a little bit in the beginning of what it is.
We brought Steve on, our good friend Steve, to pick the topic for the episode, and what he picked was a episode dedicated to the films of Mamoru Hosoda.
Killed it in one.
Just going with that.
Rockin'.
Which lists a bunch of movies that neither Ethan or I had ever seen before. I literally had seen none of these except for one, which I don't want to spoil, which was not directed by him actually. And a lot of these films are really good. I liked basically all of these movies.
The audio is a little whack just because we recorded everything through Discord. Not too bad. You'll still be able to hear everything.
We got to bring our good friend Craig on to work the soundboards. And,
yeah, our intern Craig helped us out with that.
Yeah.
The other thing to note is also one extra person talking, which we normally don't have, so it can get a little bit muddled at times. I'm going to do my best to kind of cut around, make it as cohesive as possible. But yeah. We'll catch you guys back at the end of the episode in just a little bit after you listen to the rest of the episode. Wow, okay, I'm breaking apart and failing as a human being to talk anymore. So here it is, the Anime Adventure Hour.
You're not gonna make any weeaboo jokes?
Oh no, we already have a weeaboo joke. His name is Steve, and he co-hosted.
Hey, friends and folks. Now you're in the segment part of FeatureCast, where we recorded the intro separately, and we'll also record the outro separately. So you'll hear us later, just David and I. But right now, we have a very special guest with us. His name is Steve. Hi, Steve.
Hi.
So what we're doing for this episode, which we probably introduced in the actual introduction, but whatever, we haven't recorded that as of right now. So cool. So we tied based on the rules that we had set up for our Oscar episode. Mm-hmm. So we decided to let somebody else pick the topic of the episode, because originally our winner was going to get to pick the episode, but since neither of us technically won, and if we just both decided on an episode together, it'd be the same as any other episode. That's how we always do it. So we had our friend Steve pick, and so now Steve is gonna hear us talk about the movies that he had us watch. Except some of us didn't watch all of them. It was me. I didn't watch every single one of them.
Way to go, Ethan.
I messed up. It was bad. So Steve, can you tell me a little bit about the movies that you picked for us today?
Yep. So I chose some of my favorite movies, specifically from anime. Um, I didn't want to overburden you guys with, I don't know, the 30 movies I could have chosen. So I just basically picked one director and had you guys watch all of his movies. And then I picked something that nobody should watch.
Yeah, there's a bad one there. You also threw in a bad one, a bad, mean movie.
Okay. So I chose, I don't know how to pronounce his first name, but
That's why I put it on you.
Mamoru Hosoda?
Yeah. He is the one that did Mirai. He did Girl Who Left Her Time, Summer Wars. But yeah, so basically I had you guys watch those movies, except Ethan didn't watch the best one.
Yes, I did a bad podcast. We don't quite have a real setup for the structure of this. It's going to be kind of loose. We're just going to go and talk about the different movies.
Should we kick off with Summer Wars?
Well, might as well. Well, no, okay, so I think we should talk about the Digimon movie first.
Okay.
Oh yeah, can we talk about the Digimon movie?
That's like
Guys,
the weird one here.
the Digimon
Other than
movie
the obvious one.
is not the bad one.
Okay, but it's kind of the bad one. Like,
Yeah, kind of.
I think I might
It's
actually
a
like
bad
the bad one more because the bad one, at least I have more like a connection to. The Digimon movie, coming in as someone who's never seen Digimon before, it's just so confusing. Like,
Yes, it is.
I don't think the rules of Digimon make any sense. Like, if I was a Digimon, I would just go straight into my final form every single time and just fuck everyone up.
But
like,
then you would just be Pokemon.
Exactly. But like,
I mean, they have to be different, right?
no, they don't. And then
Digital
also,
monsters.
is this basically just 2 episodes that they just like cut the commercials out and push together? Like, I don't see what the connective tissue is between like the first half and the second half.
Did you watch the right Digimon movie?
I'm pretty sure.
What if he didn't? What if he
That's
did?
what I'm wondering.
That's happened before, to be honest. So that is a very possible thing. But is this the one where there's like the dude in the internet for the first half eating stuff up?
Like the bunny rabbit looking dude?
No, like the squiggly like octopus arms. I watched the wrong fucking movie.
I think you watched the wrong movie.
All right, well.
Wow.
I was gonna say, like, the first half of this movie is basically Summer Wars.
Yeah.
Where like so maybe I watched the right one. Where the
Maybe.
dude's just eating like the internet and stuff.
It is 2 stories.
It's 2 stories that have no connective tissue. That are just
Yeah,
like
the second is like a digi egg in the sky.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what is going on? Like,
Man, digi egg is just a powerful phrase, huh?
Yes, it is.
That just really gets you going. Digi egg.
I also love just all the needle drops. Like Funk's Soul Brother, 1 Week, Smash Mouth. Like Digimon, dude, has such good like early 2000s taste in music.
Yes,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is,
Love it.
because the only people that enjoy Digimon are people that grew up in the early 2000s.
So I grew up with the Digimon movie. It's just some background. I loved this movie when I was a wee boy before I learned anything.
I had it on DVD. I remember watching it over and over again.
Can I just get a quick poll out of everyone here? Like, were you more Digimon, Pokemon, or Yu-Gi-Oh?
I did all 3.
Okay.
About
I-
equally.
I never watched the Digimon show. I had only watched the Digimon movie. So I would say
were you
Pokemon.
Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh? Okay. I was like heavily Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, like no Digimon at all. So like the Pokemon movie, that's like a fucking like heartstring to me. Like,
Mhm.
oh my god. And like this, I was like, what is this? I'm not crying at this. Like, there's no like ending scene where like Pikachu passes out and like dies. Like,
So when I was younger with the Digimon, there became a point in my life
That sounds
where
weird.
I would watch Digimon every day in my life, and then there was a point in my life where I could no longer watch the Digimon movie. That point was when I had accidentally got some sort of, I want to say like donut powder or like peanut butter and jelly or something on the disc.
How am I not
What were you
surprised?
doing with the disc, Ethan? Let's not lie about this. It wasn't peanut butter.
Oh no.
Anyway,
freak.
there was some weird food on it. So I was
No,
like, oh,
food.
it's just like a plate. I'll go wash it. So
Nice.
I took the DVD into the bathroom, and I put a bunch of soap on it, and I took a scrubber and I scraped it. And so then it was just full of soap and completely scratched up, and I could no longer watch the Digimon movie.
Perfect.
This was
Did
the
you learn
darkest
your
day
lesson?
of my life.
I love how you had it on DVD. Like, I feel like I would have had this on, like, VHS. Seems like a very VHS time.
It's too modern. They're digital monsters, David.
Mhm.
Okay, so I watched this on YouTube, right? So after the movie ended, it like auto played into the next video, which was like this guy's like breakdown of like the history of Digimon, which like was actually kind of cool because it gave me some background. And like I like the theory that all the characters end in mon, which is just a dot mon because they're all digital. I was like, okay, I kind of like that. That's actually kind of cool.
What other movies should we talk about now?
Well,
So
We can jump at any one
How
of
do we
them.
want to go into this? Like, what
It-
do we?
in my mind, I feel like after talking about Digimon, we have to go straight into Summer Wars, and
Yeah.
I know we're excluding Ethan now, but
That's fine.
because of the similarities.
So, Steve, I think you should take this up because Summer Wars is your favorite. In Summer
Yes.
Wars, although I really liked a lot of it, I don't feel like Summer Wars has the same like I don't want to say like soul as the other films that he's done, but like Summer Wars is like that like fun time movie,
Yeah.
you know?
It
But,
doesn't.
like-
It doesn't have the consequences, or at least
Yes.
feel like it has the consequences of the others.
Yes,
Totally
100%.
agree. Absolutely.
Ethan, let's hear your opinion on that.
Well, see, the thing I love about Summer Wars, so as we all know, Kenji is your typical misfit. He's good at math, bad with girls, and spends
he's
most of his
just
time
reading
hanging out
the-
in the all-powerful online community known as Oz. Now, his second life is the only life he has until the girl of his dreams, Natsuka,
Oh no.
hijacks him for a starring role as the fake fiance at her family reunion. Hey guys, what's this movie? What's
So-
Summer Wars?
It's kind of like Ready Player One if Ready Player One went bad
Yeah.
with like a virus.
So basically,
okay.
what happens is
So Wreck-It Ralph 2.
You know what? Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Half the movie takes place in the real world. The other half takes place in, think of like Facebook if it was an actual online community and not
Yeah.
So-
crap.
I've seen Ready Player One. I've seen Digimon. I've seen
Wreck-It Ralph
Wreck-It
2.
Ralph 2, and I've seen The Social Network. Do I need to watch Summer Wars?
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
there's
basically the differences are imagine Ready Player One as if literally all the businesses, everything ran through that. Like how they conduct their meetings is to go into this other digital world and they do it there. Basically everyone works from home. So when the virus breaks out, everything goes to hell.
I would say this is more like Ready Player One from like the version of the book because I don't think the movie
Yes.
portrayed that online world well enough where like
Yep.
it really is the entire world connecting in one location. And that's what Summer Wars is.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And including things like, well, I don't want to spoil too much, but weapons systems are connected.
Yep.
So basically, what happens is the main character, somebody sends out like a quiz. It's like a huge math problem, and the first person to figure it out is supposed to win something.
Okay.
And he figures it out like pretty quickly. As soon as he sees the question, he starts figuring it out. He works on it all night, figures it out, sends it back, and that's actually what releases the virus.
Yikes. Okay.
Standout character in this movie for me is definitely the grandmother, who's
Yes.
just like one of the most badass characters ever. And there's like a 2-minute montage with her making phone calls where I'm just like, fuck, this lady's awesome. Also, some really cool action in this movie. Like, probably top 2 for the movies that we watched of his, at least in my eyes, for action scenes. Also, I did not think I was going to like this movie just from the Blu-ray cover. But once you realize what the Blu-ray cover actually is, then that completely changes what the movie is. Like, I saw the cover and I was like, this is going to be some weird, like, furry stuff. It's not. It's just their avatars.
Yeah,
like,
you're seeing them with their avatars is what's going on.
Gotcha.
I also, one thing I really like about it is the main character doesn't really have much in the way of being able to help in the online community. He has to turn to the other people for help.
That was a big surprise for me because I thought his avatar was going to be, I don't want to say anything, but yes. I think the next movie we should hop into, because I think it falls pretty low on the list for all of us, is...
Wait, hop into? Don't you mean leap into?
Yes.
Oh, no. Can we just skip this one?
The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. So this is the movie that I thought I was going to like the most, or at least more than I did, and I was just kind of disappointed with it. Like, it's still... Okay, so we're talking about The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. It's still, like, pretty good. I give it 3.5 stars. Like, it's a solid time travel movie, but I don't know. It just doesn't do anything that I haven't seen before.
Yeah, exactly. And it just doesn't feel like it goes anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
it's not bad.
No, not bad at all. Like, it's definitely good. It has moments that work for me. Closer to the end, and like when she first discovers her power.
Yeah, when she first discovers the power and able to leap through time, and she's just like, what if I just eat a lot? I'm like, yeah, that's a mood. I can relate to that, you know?
But I don't think the movie ever, like, for being a movie that's 2 hours long, it doesn't really delve into, like, okay, what's actually, like, going on? Like, how is this working? Like, we see that, like, the sequences where she's traveling through time, but I'm like, what the fuck are we even looking at here?
I think there's one part of this movie that is really ugly, and that is the time space.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Looks
like,
so
what is
bad.
that?
I don't know what it is, but it's ugly, and I hate it.
I will say this. I think the moment where this movie works the best is when we start seeing the basically the guy that she's switching places with, when she's changing the timeline. When we see like the outfall of that, I don't think we normally see that in most time travel movies.
The consequences are like
yes,
do have a punch, but then afterwards they kind of remove that punch a little bit. But still gorgeously animated and still like a solid movie, well worth a watch, even if it's not super great. I think it's like mainly in the list that we have it in. That's why it feels so weak.
Because which is weird, because that was his third movie. Fourth movie technically because of Digimon, but yeah. No, overall, to me, Girl Who Leapt Through Time is the weakest of his movies.
Yeah, and I just also feel like I wanted more out of that like friend group. Like I feel like we were supposed to like so much. The movie relies on us like believing that the relationship is so strong, but I'm like, you guys just play catch. Like, I'm sorry. I don't like. Is this just like a Sunday baseball league or something, or like are we actually good friends? They don't do that much together.
No.
And like the entire time that we're with them is like, oh, Bobby just got a girlfriend. He's not going to be with us anymore. I'm like, that's not like how friendships really work, though. Like,
like I don't think this is a bad movie in any regards. It's just it didn't like really captivate me and draw me in like a lot of these others did.
The one thing it does do that's kind of new is what I'm considering like the in time aspect of it. If everyone is familiar with Justin Timberlake's fantastic In Time movie.
Well,
I am aware of that movie. I did watch that movie.
On the great part. I think that's kind of interesting. Because I think as soon as you see it, you know what it is, but the character doesn't know what it is for sure. And then when she gets that realization of like, or that like validation of what it is, not validation.
Of like some of the rules of time travel.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I want more rules. I just like rules in sci-fi movies. I think the next one we have to go into is The Boy and the Beast.
Okay.
I really fucking like this movie.
It's so good.
It's so good. like the relation. This is the best relationship, I think, out of all the movies. These two people, the boy and the beast, I fucking love them so much.
Yes.
Like,
There's no other way to put it other than the whole movie would not be good without the dynamic between the two main characters.
100%.
Yeah. This is the one I think I went in with the lowest
Really?
other than the big bad movie. Just because it's like, I don't know.
Went to Digimon with higher expectations?
I've already seen it.
Oh my god.
I knew what to go into. I knew I was gonna watch a bop and a half. So yeah, it's the one that, like, I don't know, when I first read it, I was like, okay, this doesn't really quite seem like my take. You know, it's a human boy that gets sucked into this like crazy kind of animalistic, ritualistic world. And like, I don't know, sometimes that tone just doesn't feel right for me. That's one of the things that I'm kind of opposed to with anime. Like that's one thing I generally have not liked in the past, unless it's taken more seriously, like something like Princess Mononoke. But I was hesitant.
I'm sorry, hold on. How did you pronounce that?
San. Her name is San.
Okay, go on.
Steve, what are you actually talking about?
Oh no. I can't do this. You're ruining my culture.
Whoa. Your culture, Steve. Uh-oh.
I mean, I don't know. At this point, I've spent more years watching anime than
You have a life.
American TV.
So The Boy and the Beast is the only movie out of all of these that I own. And like I hadn't seen it before buying it, but this is the one that I thought sounded the most interesting to me. And it fucking, dude, the Beast, the boy, they're just both awesome. They have such this great like chemistry that seems so real, but like it's not. There's not a real beast in the world unless there is. But like just watching like the boy like mirror his like the beast like training steps and stuff is awesome.
The core of the story is this relationship of a master and an apprentice. There are also certain things that fall into a father and son dynamic that also plays into that master and apprentice.
But it's a master who isn't a master yet. Like he's also learning his place in being a master. Like he is very much so like the outcast of the masters.
Exactly. So both of them are growing exponentially throughout the film, in different ways, but usually there's a lot of connectivity between how they grow. That doesn't mean that they're growing exactly the same way, but it's kind of reactionary.
And the apprentice isn't even trying to be one at like the time. He just doesn't have anywhere else to go. He's basically a runaway.
Yeah.
He is a runaway.
Yeah, he is. It's not even necessarily that he's a runaway. He did run away originally, but then he ended up getting stuck in this other world.
True, yes.
Without a way to get back.
Which also, I love the little like montage of them training and like the passage of time sequence is so awesome. Even though like we've seen it before.
There's that, or like during that you see them like eating, and like just the stuff that the little boy is given to eat is ridiculous.
Yeah, I really like this. This one, like all the characters, like really sold it for me. The bunny master was fantastic. Just kind of teleporting around.
Dude, the bunny,
kill motherfucker. That was great.
Also, I don't know how I feel about like the main villain. Like, it's an interesting part, but I don't think this is a movie where it relies on the villain to like hold the story together. Everything else works so well.
Yeah, I think that they ended up having to have a villain. Otherwise, like there would be no end to the story or anything. But other than that, to me, the entire movie is made specifically because of the dynamic between the two.
All of these movies are so like cinematically beautiful. The scores are fucking perfect. Like all of them, just so good. What do we want to talk about for the next one?
Wolf Children?
I love Wolf Children.
So do I.
Wolf Children
and
is
I thought,
really, really good.
I thought I was gonna not like Wolf Children. Like, this is the one I was like, I don't know if I can watch this. This just seems too weird to me. Like, I really don't know if I can do this. Like, if I thought Summer Wars was gonna be some furry stuff, this is 100% some furry stuff.
Yeah.
But like, this movie fucking kills it, dude. It's just so good.
David, are you a furry now?
Oh
What?
no.
Me?
David, are you?
I mean,
are you now
I
a
might
furry?
be wearing a tail right now. Okay, don't judge me.
Okay.
Hey, Steve, do you want to just we can make our own
No,
voice
that's
channel on
okay.
Discord, and we
All I
can,
want
leave and not have to
No,
talk to
because you
David
can't
anymore?
pronounce Princess Mononoke, so I'll stick
Ethan,
with David.
All I want you to know is
Listen.
your favorite movie involves a boy taking a tail and shoving it up his own butthole. Okay,
We'll get to that.
Who's the real
We'll
furry?
get to that.
Steve,
Who's the
just
real
because
furry?
just because I can't correctly pronounce Princess Monogamy, I mean, hold on, Princess Molasses,
Monopoly?
Princess Marsupial. Is that it? Is that anything? Princess Monotheism.
I think this is the best use of narration in all of his movies.
Mhm.
I love the narration in this, dude. The narration coming from like the younger daughter
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't seem like a new thing coming from like not the main characters. But the only other story I can think of this happening is the comic series Saga, where it's narrated by
Mhm.
the kid.
By the kid, yeah.
Yeah, and
Great.
it just
I love Saga, by the way.
dude,
Just side
Saga's
note.
so good. Honestly, if you think it sounds weird, just read it. Like I didn't get into it because I thought like, oh, that sounds weird, but it's one of the best comic series
Mhm.
out there.
Fiona Staples is a goddess.
Yeah. Wait. Who?
That's the artist.
Oh yeah, really good art. Really weird comic series to read on a plane though, because there is some. It's very there's very graphic scenes in that.
Yeah, there's a lot of scenes where robots with TVs for heads do a sex.
Yeah, well, everybody does a lot of sex. Back to Wolf Children though.
Where no one does a lot of sex except one lady and a wolf.
Yep, but like,
Okay, no. Do you think what form was he in when they did it?
definitely not the wolf.
Dude,
Maybe, dude.
oh,
I mean,
no.
they definitely tried it at least. I mean, they definitely tried it. 100%. There are just some scenes in this where I'm just like fucking heartbroken. Like
Mhm.
early on too, like I was just like, fuck dude, don't do this to me.
Yeah, it pulls an up, and just from the get-go, you're like, this is the saddest thing I've ever seen.
It also, okay, I don't want to say what it is, but like it also plays with my expectations because I'm just going to say the grocery bags, dude, at the door. Like it confused me. I was like, what? And then I was like, no. And then I was like, fuck no. If that makes any sense. It makes sense to people who've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen it, it makes no sense, but that's probably good. Also,
Yeah, I love the way that the children grew up in their own ways, and like at sometimes that's combative between each other.
oh
but
yeah.
it's not always. You know, they're able to like have their differences and still appreciate each other. And there are definitely times it doesn't seem like that. Can we talk about how this mother is doing the goddamn most?
Oh yeah, dude.
This is like best mother ever.
Seriously.
Like
She's badass, dude.
she
really
completely renovates a house. She starts a farm. Like,
right? She's also just like reading up on like herbology like
Mhm.
24/7.
It's because everything going on in her mind is how to make sure that her kids can grow up and live
Yeah.
normal lives and have their own decisions,
and it's completely
which is what
selfless.
causes everything at the end.
Dude, also the silica scene is so good.
Oh my god. Yes. That scene though that you're talking about, David, I was dying. Where she's just painting back and forth between the options. I was just like, good.
I also, so one of my issues that I thought was going to be an issue, but then when the movie started going further, I realized was actually a positive, is the runtime, because it's another 2-hour movie, which like is kind of like starting to get into like the longish territory, but I think it works so well in having so much time with the kids when they're really young.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
when they
it's
actually have grown
very
up a
well
little bit.
paced.
Because like as soon as like they start getting older and they start like going their own paths, I'm like, no, just like be young again and like turn into wolves and run around and like be really cute. Like don't fight. Fight?
Yeah.
That's not what I want with my wolf children.
There's one scene in particular that I was just like, fuck, this is amazing. And it's panning from left to right as they're going through class, and you're seeing how they're both
dude.
reacting to school
Yes.
differently at 1st.
Mhm.
And it was just like, you can't do that in any format other than animation.
That scene, and also the first like snowfall scene where they're all running through the snow. I'm like, damn, that's beautiful.
So like one thing I didn't like about this one is you have a character that like bugs a girl, and she like just tries to remove herself because like this kid is bugging her. But then later on it's like, no, but I actually like you, boy, now that you've just like basically harassed me in the playground. And it's just like, well, all right, listen, that's not the best.
I think that also took like months though for that relationship. I think the time that this movie is actually taking place over is very long, because like we see her at home like not even going to school, and he's making a 2-hour trip daily to like apologize and like.
No, the whole story itself takes place over the course of like 10 years.
Yeah.
If not longer.
At the end, I'm looking at the girl, I'm like, and like the boy, I'm like, how old are you guys now? Like, you guys have gotten like really fucking old. Like,
see, okay, that's another thing I will say about pretty much all these movies. None of these motherfuckers look like they're 10 years old. Are you kidding me?
Welcome to anime. I think overall, this one has probably the strongest like underlying message of all the movies. Just the fact that like it basically, if you really pay attention to it, the whole thing is about how everyone makes their own choices, and they're okay, and it's not up to other people to decide what they do.
Yeah. Even if you disagree or it's not the choice that you would make, there's still like, that's how people work.
Which is also like
fantastic.
Set up like early on with like the mother's decision to like live where she decides to live, so that way the option is there for both kids. Which,
absolutely,
it's so good, dude. I thought I was gonna not like this one. I fucking love this one though. So let's get on to the best one in the entire list: Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh no! Shouldn't we talk about Mirai first? I feel like we need to save the best for last, if this is what you're calling the best.
Shit. Okay, the cat's out of the bag, guys. The Goku's out of the bag. We're going to talk about Mirai, the very good, wonderful, fantastic movie Mirai, and then we're going to have an evolution.
Mirai, dude, I don't know.
To me, it's not my favorite of his. I think overall it's probably his best movie, just because of how much he's, as a director, has grown over the 4 movies before it. He was able to put everything that he wanted into it.
I think it's the best looking. Like, I think it looks really good. It definitely, like, the camera work is, like, fucking there. Like, when he's, like, panning up and down the stories in the house, I'm like, fuck, like, what is this? Like, this is just, like, next level compared to everything else I've been watching. I just fucking hate the kid. I really don't like the kid. I don't sympathize with him at all. And, like, I get that's what they're going for. I get that. Like, he's supposed to be this annoying little kid who's, like, learning what it's like to be a big brother when you don't want to be a big brother. Like, my brother literally acted like him when I was born. Like, he finger painted the entire living room on the walls and all the furniture. But I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing, little dude?
Here's the thing, David, I almost agree with you. I almost agree with you that I can't relate to this kid. But there's a point where he is asked, what is more important, your memories or the color of your pants? And he says, the color of my pants. And at that moment I knew, I am this boy. He is perfect. He is everything I wanted.
See, I think this whole movie, the whole reason that it drew me in is not because of the boy. I think it's because of the little girl.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
And just the things that go on with her, and like seeing her grow up a little bit, and then all of a sudden she's just like a teenager.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of, like, so the opening of Up, obviously the famous opening Up. This is like the middle segment of that opening spliced out into an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Like, we're dealing with this like super like difficult time in people's lives where like you are bringing home the second born kid when you already have like, I don't know, was he like 4 or something? another kid, and then you have like this dog, and it's just like, what do we do? Like, we're all in new situations. I don't know how to deal with this. He's crying. He doesn't like the kid, and it's just like, it's super tough. Also, though, this is just a Christmas Carol, right?
Yeah.
Like,
there's some really powerful scenes there, like just seeing the kid and basically the fact that he hates his little sister so much. He picks up like the train and hits her with it.
It's just like it's hard to watch. Like, it's weird to say it's hard to watch because like it's little kids doing things, but like that shit was like hard. Like,
yeah, it is.
The things that I think work the best is the bicycle scene. Love that, dude. Because you get so many different like character moments out of that one scene that just works so well.
Yep.
The ending, what I'm gonna call Enter the Void sequence, fucking nails it. It's so Enter the Void.
Oh my god.
But it works so well. And I was like, I'm gonna fucking cry. Like, this is killing me. Also, the great grandfather scene. I think great grandfather scene. Oh, love that shit. Also, just like, I love the relationship between the mom and the dad because it's so real. This is like maybe the most realistic relationship out there.
So all the characters in the movie were so like fully fleshed out in their own individual ways, and like they weren't ones that we typically see. There are definitely some like the dog is that's what dogs do, and baby is just a baby. Baby just sits there, but like the like you were saying, the parents specifically, the grandfather, the two boys at the train yard. I like that it incorporates some different animation styles, but it doesn't. It's supposed to feel a little out of place for it, and it does it really well. Like, I think it utilizes that in a way that benefits the story more so than just what if we did this and it was different. I love the through line of trains. It's fantastic.
It's such a perfect, like, weird thing for a kid to like.
Fuck you! How dare you?
Do you like trains?
The color of my pants is the most important.
Fuck off.
Oh, man. I think overall it just does a really good job of differentiating between like what's really going on and his imagination and the things that he's seeing when he's outside playing.
Yeah. The animation in those sequences and how it switches back and forth between those,
like that little blue glow is so good.
Yeah. And that's one thing that, like, in some of the other movies that he's done, a lot of like their like the weird concept, the visualization of those doesn't work for me. Specifically, like Girl Who Leapt Time is a great example of that, you know, where it's like that's supposed to be the thing that's like, oh, this is really cool, and that's supposed to like be the polish of it, but when it doesn't work, it kind of hurts everything else with it. Where in Mirai, it absolutely works, and it's gorgeous, and like completely sells you on the movie.
So here's what I think. I think Mirai, with like the parents' relationship, I think if he could have shadowed that like realness of a relationship in The Girl Who Leapt Through Time with the friend group, that movie
potentially could have been the top of these.
Yeah, like, because this movie gives such a realistic like depiction of a family at that age. Because like I don't think we normally see like this type of family, this fractured but also this connected, just like on screen. Like
the dynamic between them, like especially when the mom has to leave for a while, and then the dad has to like take charge, and he's supposed to be doing the chores and all this, and it's just really crazy to watch him try and deal with that while having to deal with the kids. And overall, I think it was cool seeing like the initial point of him in his imagination, like with the dog, and all of a sudden there's this random person there that he doesn't know who it is, and he rips the tail off and turns himself into a dog.
Yo, that is the wackest shit, though. This boy rips the tail off a dog, just shoves it right up his ass, and then he's like, "I'm a dog now. What up?"
Yep.
So Steve, I know you don't want to go down a certain path, but do you want to go down Snake Road?
Oh no. Sure, why not?
So my favorite movie on this list It's Dragon Ball Evolution.
Is it really?
No, fuck no.
I was about to say, please don't tell me that you're being serious.
Oh, this is a masterpiece, though. Directed by the one and only James Wong.
Mm-hmm. My hero. The man who brought us Final Destination and Final Destination 3.
He's a master. He's a master of his own craft. So
What
should
would
we
that
talk about
craft be?
I don't know. They're shitting on childhoods.
Pretty much.
Piccolo does not look like Piccolo.
No.
This is not my Piccolo. Hashtag not my Piccolo.
More like Piccolo. Oomph.
Also, hashtag not my Roshi.
Mm-hmm.
Not my Goku. Just
yeah.
hashtag not my DZ.
Not my Dragon Ball, I think.
Like, that movie would have been terrible if they didn't try and call it Dragon Ball, but then they called it Dragon Ball and just shit on the entire series.
Oh yeah, he took a big fat shit, a Justin Chatwin size shit, because this kid might be the worst actor like ever.
Oh
like,
yeah,
he ruined this. He tried to ruin War of the Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
You can't ruin a Tom Cruise movie. We all know that though.
I'm just so happy that he finally is back on form lately and appeared in the movie Chips. So I'm just like really happy that like he's on the up and up. See, I don't know why you guys are disrespecting him. He was in Super Baby's Baby Geniuses too. And like,
oh, your favorite movie.
Can we just talk about how like the key in this is just like fucking like wind? They're just like they're airbenders here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my god.
Well, and don't you just love that moment when he learns to use the Kamehameha and goes flying through the air?
It's
like, I don't think we need to worry about spoilers for anybody, because I hope nobody listening to this watches this movie.
No way. It's just so, oh my god. And then you got like Yamcha. Like, what the fuck is this thing?
Mm-hmm. Like, so this was like, I'm pretty sure this was the very first like live action anime film they did, because this came out back in the early 2000s.
I mean, it was 2009.
Was it really 2009? Holy
There's
shit.
no way.
Guys, happy 10th anniversary of Dragon Ball Evolution.
How is it that late? Because I remember going to see it in theaters. Like, I actually watched this movie in theaters at the Invergrove Theater.
Really?
Yes. Me and all my friends, we were super excited because there was a Dragon Ball movie coming out. And we were like, we're going to go there on day one. And we walked out of there and said, never again.
Hey guys. It was released April 10th. This episode is in special honor of the 10th anniversary of Dragon Ball Evolution.
Why are we doing a 10th anniversary?
Speaking
It
of,
was not intentional, but oh boy, am I happy, huh?
I saw the last Airbender movie at a midnight showing at the Apple Valley Theater in the front row because like it was sold out. It was the worst experience probably ever. Next to if I saw Dragon Ball Evolution in theater. Like,
yeah.
Holy shit. This movie, I don't want to see Goku in high school. I'm sorry. Like, that's not my Dragon Ball. Like,
yeah.
I don't like the episodes where he fucking learns to drive. I don't want to see him like going to school, getting like dealing with bullies and shit.
I loved this movie so much. It was the biggest shit show I've seen in a while. And I've seen some bad movies this year.
So my whole reasoning for wanting you guys to watch this, because I haven't watched the Death Note one. I want to know where it stacks up.
Oh,
is it worse than Death Note?
Yeah, it's worse than Death. It's worse.
Okay, so maybe Death Note is watchable for me.
I don't know.
Death Note is still definitely not watchable.
Death Note has some cool cinematography sometimes.
It has some funny shit though going on, but like I think Death Note like might
Willem
be
Dafoe is pretty solid in that one.
Plus, it also has Lakeith Stanfield. Like, you can't go wrong with Lakeith. But it's a shit fucking movie, and it shits all over Death Note. Like, it just fucking just like shits right across the entire series. Can we just please talk about Piccolo and like that doesn't look anything like him.
No,
that looks like a fucking like I don't even know what the fuck.
It literally looks like a pickle. It's like whoever made this movie was like, Piccolo, it's just supposed to be like a pickle with arms, right? He's definitely the bad guy.
IGN gave this, they have the quote on the back of the DVD. It says, amazing. The best action movie so far.
Wait.
What the fuck?
Did you buy this movie?
No, I did not. I would, though, if I could. If I could find this shit.
I paid for this movie, guys.
Did you?
I spent real human dollars.
I mean, I guess I technically did too, since I watched it in theaters.
Yeah, I think you paid more than I did.
That's like one of my biggest regrets. Not gonna lie.
So every now and then there comes a movie so bad that I have to do something special for it.
Oh, Jesus.
If you remember back in the day, I made a song for The Mummy.
That's a classic.
It is.
I wrote a stream of consciousness master's degree work of a paper based off Death Note.
This is our humble co-host, Ethan.
My Death Note dissertation, stream of consciousness.
I think this is where I just disconnect the call.
I wrote something very special for this in honor of the tone of the movie.
Did you write a love note to Bulma's character?
I made a beat that's inspired and directly stolen from the Rock the Dragon theme.
Oh man.
So I'm gonna give you guys the spoken words, and you guys can let me know your thoughts towards the end.
Horrible. Oh wait, you wanted it towards the end.
James Wong, you did me wrong. Make a bad movie, 85 minutes long. Dream all evolution. Here's my review. Performed as a rap song just for you. Finally, Goku is a Dave Matthews fan, but I don't think this version is from Japan. He's just a white dude at a weird future school. 7 pounds of hair gel, but he still isn't cool. Bullets crush his bike and call him silly names. And he got the invite to Chi-Chi's just the same. Even skips his cake date with his grandson. Kicks off the party with a cool fight dance. You called him Giku, but now you need Idaho. He stole Chi-Chi, so you'll need a new Psycho. Then Piccolo shows up looking triggering as fuck. Crushes Graham's house, then he'll bounce with his TikTok thought. I'm lost, this movie is insane. Over 9,000 mistakes in each fucking frame. Oh no, Goku's in a 7-ball pickle. Then we see a CGI tricycle. Flash forward, it's horrible and just ghostly. They heed the call and go and meet Roshi, an ancient master, current sexual predator. I have several choice words for the editor. Then they crash into a shitty tiger pig with a super douche on top of it. With ramen noodle hair, he will join the cast, but you won't care. Or remember, why does Bulma sleep in full leather? Chi-Chi is a clone, and now I want a groan. Clone has a gun that shoots farts. Quiet! The Jeep can fly, Jeep can fly. I really want to stab my eye. Goku has turned into a beast. This movie should get heat. Or Ryot. Come forth, Dragon and Graham, I wish. Let me watch a movie that isn't so shit. But wait, there's a soup lady after the credits. There's a whole new teaser. Don't you forget it. Dragon Ball 2 coming soon, but they wanted to make 7. That would be hell. The opposite of heaven. Like, what the fuck? 7 movies? Really? Really? 7 movies? Fuck off with that shit. Are you kidding me? What the fuck? What the... I had a friend named Steve, and I used to believe I could trust him, but then he picked this movie, and now I must bust him. That's right, Steve, you will soon be in poor health. Please kindly Goku, fuck yourself. Why did you do this? What was the goal? To make me sad and want to die in a hole? Every single scene was abysmally awful and should be unlawful and illegal. I'd rather get castrated by an eagle or watch Norm of the North again.
That was a little too far at the very end. When I said I wanted to watch Norm of the North again, I didn't actually mean it. I just wanted to really stress how bad this movie was. Thank you for listening to my educational rap in the style of Rock the Dragon. Steve, why did you do this?
I like that. That was interesting.
Guess it was interesting. You lost me there for like halfway through. I was just like, what? Is it over? Like, are we done?
I don't know what to say after that, to be honest.
It's
See, I haven't watched that Dragon Ball movie since it came out. Literally the only thing I can remember from it is the end with Goku just like flying at Piccolo while using the Kamehameha.
It was fucking it was beautiful. Let me just say, Dragon Ball Evolution? That's good eating.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish they would have made the rest of the movies.
Oh my god, no.
Just quite so I could see him go like Super Saiyan and see how awful it looks.
Imagine Super Saiyan 3. Imagine the Buu saga.
Yeah.
Imagine how bad Super Saiyan 3 would have looked.
Yep.
Oh man, I think Vegeta would have looked gorgeous.
I think in general the whole thing would have been amazing.
Oh my god. Imagine Buu. Just imagine fat Buu.
I'm assuming that they would have used a blobfish for Buu.
Holy my lord.
You think a live action Dragon Ball movie could ever work?
No.
Like in the hands of any director, any writer that like
I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna say no, mainly because there are so many things that can work in animation that you can suspend your disbelief. That it's so hard for that to translate into a live action.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the things that are even like the most outlandish in live action movies, they're usually grounded in something. So like Blade Runner is fantastical, but it's gritty and it has like weight to it. Things that are generally lighthearted and quirky don't work as well. There are a few exceptions, like Space Jam, but that's also like it's seen as a campy movie, you know?
Excuse me?
Like there's not.
That's just not campy. That's not campy at all,
Space
dude.
Jam?
Not at all.
Space Jam is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Why does Goku look like he would really complain about whatever your favorite Radiohead album was? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the look he had. What do you think his favorite band is? That Goku, the Goku in this world.
I'm gonna say fish.
Smash Mouth.
Oh my lord. Oh, what a beautiful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
One more time. Finish it out.
I see Piccolo's green, white Goku too.
Anyways, David, I would love to do another episode of like Makoto Shinkai. There's also another one that we could potentially do of just like the most emotional ones, which half of them would be Makoto Shinkai.
I mean,
or when they make a Fortnite movie, that would be really emotional too.
We could also just do a Miyazaki episode because I've only ever seen Spirited Away.
Really?
I've only seen Spirited Away. I know.
Interesting.
I was gonna go to because Alamo was doing. I know AMC did one a while ago, where they like marathon all the movies.
Really? You've never seen Kiki's Pizza Delivery Service?
No.
Princess Monogram?
Oh man.
Or
this is interesting. Play us out.
Howell and Kumar moved to White Castle.
Something.
Well, David, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Good luck.
Ethan, you want to play us out with more titles of Miyazaki films?
Please don't.
Oh yeah, give me a second.
Go ahead and ruin Ponyo. I'll tell Alexi about it.
Pikachu. That was my idea. Pikachu.
Yeah. What? Hey. What if instead of Ponyo is just Pikachu? Is that anything?
No.
My neighbor John Turturro.
That would kind of work. I'm down for that.
The Cat in the Hat Returns. Is that anything?
Okay. I really want to see that one. That one sounds really interesting, actually.
Boro the Hungry Caterpillar.
Oh no, what's that?
Pokemon? Porco Rosso, I hardly know her.
Oh my god.
That was horrible.
Yo, I gotta go drive to Inver.
Star Wars Episode 9, The Skywalker Wind Rises. Are we done?
Thank you for joining us for this special installment. Wait a second. No, we're actually not even done with the episode. We're just going to be cutting straight into the last
Whisper of the Fart. Do you get it?
I get it.
Whisper.
How do we play this bit out? Because
Whisper of the Fart.
I'm going to fucking kill you, Ethan.
Thanks for listening to this section of the podcast. David and I will return to you for the end of the episode
in like 7 seconds.
I'd like to give a huge thank you to Senpai Steve for joining us and gracing us with his glorious wisdom.
Ethan, I'm not going to notice you.
Senpai Steve, please notice me, please.
Oh man.
But seriously, thank you very much for helping out, Steve. This was a really interesting mix of movies. There was some goodums. There was and there was also Dragon Ball Evolution.
I really don't think, like, besides Dragon Ball and Digimon, I think everything I really liked.
Yeah.
And
there were some that I really, really liked too.
Yeah, like Wolf Children,
fuck,
and Boy and the Beast are two movies that, like, I basically love.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We hope you enjoyed that special segment with good friend Steve.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna be talking about some pitch and fixes.
Yeah.
Do we lead with the pitch or the fix?
Well, before we do that, David.
Oh, fuck.
Time for the pitch and fix. You gotta pitch it, then you gotta kick it, and if you don't like it, go to the kitchen, grab a knife. Whoa, you will have a lot of strife if you do not pitch and fix. And a pitch and fix. Come on, everybody, it's a bag of dicks. Slurp it up, slurp it up, slurp it up. Good.
Nope, that is gonna end. I don't know what just happened.
Don't wear your shoes on the new hardwood floor unless you're gonna mop all that dirt up. Fix and pitch. It's the ever-changing theme song for the ever-present segment. It's pitch and fix, motherfuckers.
Wow, that was
I just like to bring the energy, David.
that was so good, dude. That was really good.
David, can you give me a quick theme song for pitch and fix?
Nope, that's not in the contract.
Can you, David? Real quick.
I can't. Nope. Nope.
David.
It's pitch and fix time. Pitch and fix. This is my pitch and fix song. Let's see how long I can make my pitch and fix song. Hey.
I really like that, actually. That was very good.
So what I watched was the very satisfactory and by the book Hotel Mumbai, which I think I actually introed on the last episode as Hotel Dubai, which is not the same thing. So sorry, fuck that up. This is starring Dev Patel, Armie Hammer, Jason Isaacs, and some other actors and actresses. And so what my main issue with this movie is that although the stakes are actually high and it's based on a true story, I never really felt it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can really only put that in the hands of the director, Anthony Morris, who really doesn't have a track record of anything else before this. So I think we have to replace him.
Okay.
Because I think the acting in this movie, everyone's doing pretty good. But I think somebody who I want to bring in to direct this movie would be Paul Greengrass. He has a track record of doing true story movies that have some...
Most recently, 22 July.
Yes, but I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at more Captain Phillips, United 93, the Bourne movies I think he handles well, even though those aren't based on a true story. But you are right. And also Bloody Sunday. And I think he would be able to handle this movie better. Who I think would add a lot to the opening of this movie where... So, are you familiar with, like, the actual events?
Not enough to make a movie about it.
Shit, I was going to put you in the director's seat, Ethan, but I guess I can't do that.
Shit.
But
My one shot.
It opens up with the terror attacks before they get to the actual hotel. Because, like, they attack, like, a subway station, and then they attack, like, some markets and stuff. Which leads you to the Taj Mahal. And I think having Greengrass, who's really good with, like, handheld shots...
Yeah.
...would really make those a lot more kinetic and, like, put you in the actual shoes of some of the people who start on the streets and end up in the hotel.
Good descriptive word. Kinetic.
You like that?
Yeah, that was nice.
Oh, thank you so much. I've been working on this. And then I also think this movie loses a little bit with having the focuses be on some of the American tourists who start in the street and then end up in the hotel, and then after they get out of the hotel, you lose those those being like your driving characters, and then you kind of focus on Dev Patel, and then you kind of focus on Armie Hammer. But Dev Patel, I think, would be a good focus, and the Americans would be a good focus. I don't think Armie Hammer is a very good focus. Even though I really like him as an actor, I think he does a good job here. I just don't think
it's not enough to hold the whole plot together.
Yes. So I think we need to focus on either one of those two characters, being the American tourists.
Or Dev Patel.
Yes. I think making those 2 changes, Greengrass, and then also just focusing on Patel and the Americans would be a lot better.
David, I got a pitch for you.
Let's hear it. I'm very excited to hear this.
Now, this I did workshop over lunch today. I have a tentative title, and the title is actually stolen from a Our Real Knots bit. So the title is Starstorm: The Destruction of Father.
Let's hear it.
Okay. So this is going to
kick it
be,
off.
It's going
Bring
to be
me into this world.
I am about to.
Fucking deliver.
It is a 3-act sci-fi adventure epic, but it's very grounded. It's actually
cliche,
not too dissimilar to Hunt for the Wilderpeople, because the core relationship is about a father and something. I'll get into that. So our main actor is Paddy Considine, who you may remember from movies like Death of Stalin, Hot Fuzz, World's End. He's also a director. He directed Tyrannosaur that I reviewed a little while back.
Oh, yeah.
Big fan of Paddy Considine. He's great. Love him. Considine? Meh, fuck it. I'm not a big enough fan, I guess. So he lives a pretty boring life. He works from home, and he is a translator, all on the internet. He never actually interacts really with any real people in his day-to-day. So he always has to follow the instructions. He has to click the right box for what each word means. Anything that he gets wrong, it leads to a lot of punishment. So even if, like, he has to do literal translation, he can't do, like, well, what they're trying to say is he has to do the literal. So he's always following things to kind of to a T by the book, right? Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, a package shows up outside of his door.
Was that the package
That
getting
was
dropped
the
off?
package getting dropped off. That's what you heard in the background.
Oh.
Right?
Okay, I like that.
I'm doing some Foley work for this one.
Nice.
And yeah, so the package gets dropped off, and he's got to walk over to the door.
Great. Perfect.
And he picks up the package.
Okay. We don't need the Foley work anymore.
No Foley work anymore. You done with it?
Nope. Cut it.
Basically, he finds this package, and there is a note on top of the package that says, please open and take care of. Do not destroy under any circumstances. Okay, that's kind of a weird opening. How it doesn't have any return label. It pretty much has no markings to distinguish what company sent it, anything like that. It's just a...
You know what this reminds me of a lot?
Okay.
Escape Room.
It's... You know what, David? You caught me.
It is
It's
Escape
exactly
Room.
the
You're
same
pitching me
plot
Escape
as
Room.
Escape Room.
Fucking sold, dude. Sold.
So he opens the box, okay? Kind of gently and carefully. And inside of it is a baby. A humanoid but slightly blue baby.
An Atari?
Not quite.
But kind of.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
So then kind of kicks
Natiri?
off this,
Natiri's
this
character name.
quest.
Sorry.
that he goes on. So this is going to be a partially comedy, adventure, a fish out of water sort of deal, with a lot of sci-fi elements. So the first place they go to, and this is kind of Act 1, is the library. Okay? So it is a huge planet that basically is like the whole planet is this like different information that you can find. It's just called the library. However, the planet flooded due to the fact that there was a fire and it took out a huge part of the planet and like all those books.
That's going to be a lot of wet paper.
Exactly. Lots of wet paper.
Worse than a
So
wet book.
they have not been able to fully recover from this. So we see as this guy is going through, pretty much it's like a wide open area and there's just a bunch of bookshelves.
Kind of like this episode isn't going to be able to recover from that fully.
So there's a bunch of bookshelves and a lot of water. It's like it's a little less than knee deep on our main character as he's walking through with this baby, and he comes across these two robotic librarians. They're called Librobots, library bots.
Wow. Love that. That's
so there
gold.
are two actors in this that play these robots. One is John Mulaney. He is the senior libraribot, and the young one in training is Griffin McElroy. You might see a few other McElroy brothers, the other two, later on in this movie. So the basic thing is with this. So each section of the film is going to go through a different part of the baby's life. This baby is going to grow up pretty damn quickly. So everything in this first act is going to be from when it's a baby to around 7 or 8 years old. So it grows up pretty quickly. So the first thing is going to be him trying to find information about, like, where was this sent through, things like that, while still getting kind of no real answers from John Mulaney. And as Griffin McElroy's character tries to, like, actually find answers, John Mulaney's like, no, that's the wrong book. I asked for the history of the universe and all the babies in it, not the history of all the babies in the universe, you idiot robot. And then it's kind of back and forth.
That was very
Thank
good.
you.
That was great. I think you should do
In
the
the
rest
John
of the pitch
Mulaney
in
voice?
that voice.
I
totally
can't.
joking.
If you
Please,
want.
please, actually don't. Okay, good. No, you don't have to, Ethan.
Anyway, so this guy's trying to find where his baby's from. I won't do the pitch in that whole voice. So they're trying to find where the baby's from, and basically, like,
Jesus.
after a whole bunch of bickering and some kind of not going anywhere, kind of a comedy of errors sort of thing, they're basically like, well, what you need to do is you need to go to this planet where they're going to teach you how to be a parent, because if you don't know where the baby's from, the baby is yours. It's your property, your baby. Deal with it. And he's like, okay. Because, you know, like, he's never said no to things. Like, he's definitely kind of a pushover type character. So it leads us to our next planet, which is the parent planet. This one's it's kind of like suburbs, but it's a little low gravity, and kind of more modern futurist suburbs. Low gravity. There are slightly green aliens with antennae, kind of classical, cheap 60s B movie type alien, you know.
Nice. Yeah, I love that. That's great. I like sheep.
So their race is called Aparental Gertie and Madre Papa Sapiens. However, that is such a mouthful for all the babies and toddlers that go to their planet as like a daycare thing. So they just go by
Stupid
greenies.
Fucking babies. Fucking amateur babies.
So this is, by the time we get there,
shit.
this is like preteen to teenage year. Okay? As he's still trying to learn everything, but he's kind of slowly realizing, like, fuck, this baby's growing up super fast. Is this normal? I don't know what's normal. I'm not a dad.
I'm a dad. Wait, what?
What? Dave?
Nope. No. We're just gonna keep going. I gotta stop saying stuff. You gotta get this pitch out. Just sit down
So
and
there
really
are
focus
4
on this
moms
pitch and just really
that they
get it
meet
out.
and talk with.
Oh,
All
God,
right,
that's
Tilda
a dream
Swinton,
come true.
Aubrey Plaza, Travis McElroy,
Interesting.
and
More interesting.
wow, that's a last name, huh? Palm Clementinatov. Oh, I fucked it so bad, huh? The
Typhoid?
lady that plays Mantis in Guardians of the
The
Galaxy.
fourth mom is Typhoid.
is the
who?
lady that plays Mantis. Her name is Palm, and then also has a last name. I
Wow,
cannot.
rude. Can't even pronounce the
Not
last
well.
name.
So at this point, one of the things that we're going to see is basically... I'll speed things up because we're definitely running a little long. Our main character is kind of pushing back on the rules and being like, no, I just want to, figure it out on my own. Like, I hate these rules because, like, everything is going wild. Oh, one of the reasons why they want to go to a low gravity planet is so that if you drop your baby, you have longer to catch it, so it's safer. That's one of the appeals of this parent planet.
This reminds me of something that would be in Saga.
Yeah, Saga is definitely an inspiration for it. Yeah.
An inspiration. Are you
Not
up to date on
completely.
Saga?
I'm a couple volumes behind. I'm like 2 volumes behind. I love Saga, by the way.
Volumes.
Anyway, I gotta get going on this pitch, David.
Apparently not enough to be caught up to date.
So there is a a somewhat like a teenage rebellion against their parents, but it's the main character rebelling against the four moms. Being like, no, your rules suck. I'm not gonna yell at my baby. And like all throughout the beginning, he's had to like get all the like any sort of candy or snacks that the baby wants, and like putting on like annoying songs for the baby that just the baby wants to hear over and over again. And you see him kind of becoming more grizzled and unkempt throughout by the time he reaches this. So finally, he just runs away, and like they're basically like, well, you need to pay your service fees for consultation. And he's like, no, you didn't tell me anything useful. I'm not paying for that. So they basically impound his car. So he has to steal a spaceship. There's like a little chase scene.
Nice.
Spaceship crashes because they shoot a little bit of it, but he manages to get to a planet a little far away. And this is, I don't have a name for the planet. It's kind of a forest mountainy type terrain for it. What?
Boy, yeah. You heard me. I can't say it again because I don't know what I said.
Boyega?
Boyega.
Boyega? John Boyega.
Yeah, that's it. That was the inspiration.
Boyega. So he gets to the planet Boyega. So dumb.
Thank you. Way to crush my
and he
hopes
meets these bear people.
Planet. I'll show
not,
you a bear person.
It's not somewhere. Not like Ewoks because they're like normal sized, and not like Wookiees because these are like thick boys. Kind of like Bobo from the Muppets. Do you remember Bobo? Do you ever see Muppets from Space?
Oh, I remember Bobo.
Yeah, that was the bear one
space.
that wore like a tie and offered the sandwich that spoke to Gonzo in Muppets from Space. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Are you being honest?
100% know what you're talking about.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure you know who Bobo is.
100%. I don't say. Fucking think I'm an amateur.
Hi guys, welcome to Bobo Talk. Bobo banter. Anyway, so on this forest mountain, we meet basically this. We learn about these bear people. Our main one, the kind of like the leader of the bear people, or at least the bear family that he meets, is played by Tom Waits. You may remember from Buster, the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. He was the
prospector.
Yep. So he had the like, good night, Mr. Pocket. But he's a bear. He's a big bear man. He has two sons with him. And the thing about the bear people is size-wise, they grow very quickly and are like large size, but they mature kind of slowly. So even though their like voice is going to be deeper, they're still going to be a little bit childish. So his two sons are Nick Offerman and Justin McElroy. So they'll be like banter like, Daddy, can I have some berries? You can have some berries. Gives Nick Offerman some berries. And basically this is where the main character learns to like just kind of let go of things and like be free and like not worry as much about like making mistakes as a parent or even just making mistakes as a person in general. Tom Waits teaches him like, sometimes your kids are going to roll down the hill, so you just got to let them roll all the way down. Sometimes they might bump into a tree or two, bump their noggy, and a bunch of berries are going to fall down. And you know what? You're just going to go down there, you're going to have a picnic and eat the berries that fell off the tree that they done bumped into. Why do you keep sniffing? It's so weird, David.
Is that the end of the pitch I smell? Are we getting close to that?
Sorry, did I say 3? This is a 8X.
This is... the entire episode could be the pitch.
So the basic structure of the show.
of the first act.
is it's a father learning how to parent without rules. And learning to live without rules because of how
Did you just pitch me Wolf Children but with a father?
No.
Did you?
No, because there's no wolves. It's just bears.
I hate you. All right, so Wolf Children, you just got done hearing about Wolf Children in part 2.
I'm not done,
Bear
David.
But so
here's a twist. Here's the twist at the end that we're gonna learn.
I was planning on having dinner after this. Now I'm having breakfast.
Here's the twist that we learn at the end, David. Okay.
Oh shit.
Where the package came from. That was the first thing that he was trying to find out, right?
Holy, that was like days ago. Sorry.
For the package. All right. What he learns from this is he realizes that it's similar to kookaburra, cuckoo bird. Do you know what? I don't remember exactly what they're called. Basically,
a kookaburra.
Yeah. So the all they do is they go through and they lay their eggs in other people's nests. So this is
like my eggs.
It's a creature that their eggs look like a package.
I'll show you. Oh, interesting.
And that's just kind of their race for it. But they don't really care about family, you know? So, like, even when he does kind of find this just by chance, after he leaves the bear planet, like, at the very end, they realize they're like, oh, we don't know. We don't care. Like, we just got to get our packages out, you know? We're a shipping people. That's all we are.
I should. I'm going to keep just whispering things you say, but in a weird voice.
All right. Yeah, so then they learn to, you can kind of let go of your family, but they're still your family, and things are all good.
I'll let go of my family.
Why?
What?
I don't understand. Yeah, so that's my pitch. It's called Starstorm: The Destruction of Father.
I like it.
Definitely, sorry, that was a little bit long. I actually tried to flesh out a whole story there.
I know. I know you did. I liked it. It's going to be a long episode. I liked it, though. And I like the time that you put into it.
Thank you.
It was very well thought out.
Thank you.
Yeah,
so we will... That's what we got for now. David, do you want to grab some quick show notes where people can contact us, get in touch?
Yeah, you can check us out on Twitter at FeatureCast. That's FTR_cast. You can also follow our Instagram. We don't really do anything there. Send us an email at featurecast with no underscore questions at gmail.com. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Featurecastquestions at gmail.com. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then you can follow both of us on Letterboxd. We do a lot of shit there. Oh yeah. You can follow me at. You can follow him, Ethan, at Tiny Wizard. That's TNYWZRD. Mm-hmm. Cool. And then you can follow me at DGetty. It's just DGETTY. Did that sound cool?
No.
Did the double T make me sound cool?
No. Any way that you can pick people to follow your letterbox, I don't think it can sound cool in any regard. So, like, don't worry.
Are you telling me that's not a cool way to talk to people in public? Like, hey, you can follow my letterbox, and I throw my letterbox business card. Fuck! I printed 10,000 of those.
Oh, is that why you need so much paper for your printer, huh?
Yes.
Hey guys, we're gonna try to do a Star Wars episode for Star Wars, but we're a little tight on when we can record it, so it actually comes out on May the 4th. But we'll try, huh?
Yeah, I gotta watch a lot of movies for that because I've never actually seen a Star Wars movie.
Oh, that's a lie.
That's not true. I only gotta watch like 2 or 3 or 4.
Guys, we're doing all of them, all the Ewoks.
Yeah, we're doing all in. Yep. I gotta sit through 3 hours of Ewok adventures.
Until the next time, I have been Ethan, your humble host. This is also another person.
I am always David. I've never just. Man, I'm David. Hey, I'm David. This is the toaster cast.
What?
See what happens when we put certain foods into a toaster.
No, okay, here's my shit, all right?
Put egg rolls and wontons.
When you buy a Hot Pocket,
you're putting shit in the toaster?
When you buy a Hot Pocket, it's not hot, right? You buy a frozen Pocket. You have to make it hot. You can't actually buy a Hot Pocket. Do you see what I'm saying? We'll see you guys later.
Bye.